This morning, pastors from various churches are planning to protest against the closure of churches. They'll be marching to the union buildings to hand over a memorandum. Our reporter Maila is in Pretoria covering that one for us. Maila, good morning. And what's happening there at the moment?
Good morning, UV. Well, basically, the pastors just behind me have started praying. They've just given a moment of silence. And it seems like they've just been joined by the police currently. They've just walked in there. And so we'll find out a little bit later as to what is going on. But we do understand that from what we have heard is that they have a right to be here. And they've been said that they have applied to be here. But we are going to find out a bit more from our guest here, who is the representative of the pastors. Perhaps, sir, just to get started, what exactly brings you here today?
We are here today as pastors against church closure to send a memorandum to the president at the union building to tell him that we are not happy with the closing of the churches. We are not happy because we have not been consulted, and we feel very strongly that our rights have been tampered with, they've been infringed. Because if you look into the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, Act 108 of 1996, Section 15 tells us that we've got a freedom of religion and therefore the practice of it. So when you say you are prohibiting the gathering of churches, you are simply closing. You are simply fighting or working against Christianity, because Christian religion believes in the gathering together as per the Bible. And we are questioning the issue of saying, why are we having your cinemas, your casinos, your gyms, your restaurants, all of them are open and functional. They are gatherings also. And if you are saying people will get infection in the church, will they not get the same infection in the building of a theater or cinema or restaurant or casino?
Perhaps let me ask, because most of those areas that you're talking about obviously have some form of making sure that people are sanitized and they have all the security issues or whatever with regards to the Disaster Management Act. May I ask you, what is it that you would do in church to make sure that people are safe in that gathering?
What we'll do in the church, we'll buy the screening gun. We'll also make sure that we've got the sanitizers, and we'll make sure that our church is open on 50% capacity. Meaning if the church can carry 500 people, it must be open for 250. If it can carry 100 people, it must be open on 50. So we'll make sure that all those are guarded against, the precautions are applied. And we'll make sure that everything that will be done in the church will not promote the spreading of the COVID-19, meaning the singing will be cancelled and all the walking around praying, people will pray on their church, seated down, hearing the word of God. So those are the things we are advocating for.
Are those the things that you have in the memorandum today?
Yes, those are the things that we have in the memorandum as the suggestion for a way forward to the president, that you must give the restrictions and we can suggest these are the restrictions that we are having. Yes.
All right. And lastly, some people may say this is because you may need financial assistance. That's why you want your congregants to be back. Is it that so?
We may want financial assistance from the government.
In terms of people that come through to give money in church, would you say that's the case?
Or you mean people can say this is about the tithe and the offerings? Okay, let me put it straight like this. The churches have got bank accounts. Our members have been going to banks to deposit money. We have ways of electronically receiving the tithes and the offerings. This is not about the tithes and the offerings. But nonetheless, the tithe and the offerings, they still remain the center of the Christian religion. So it is not about that. This is about the spiritual support. People who have lost their loved ones to COVID-19 in this pandemic, they still need the support of the pastors in the church. And therefore we say open the church for such a support. That's why we are doing this.
All right. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Well, you heard there, UV, they're saying this is not financial incident. This has got to do with the fact that they want to support people emotionally, and that's why they're here today, and they're just basically asking for the government to hear their cries.